Welcome to scheduling client appointments for new clients. In this section, I will show you how you schedule appointments for brand new clients to your office. To begin, you will need to search for the client's name. So we'll click on the Search tab. We'll put in the new client's name and select Search. As you can see, there were no records found. So our choices are we can add a new contact or schedule a new contact. You probably do not want to add the new contact at this time because what that will do will actually check them in and put them into your lobby right now, which you probably don't want to do until they actually walk into your door. So we will do schedule new contact at this time. It takes us to the appointment calendar and it defaults to today and the current site that you are logged into. So you can see we have multiple sites here. I'm logged into the West Saginaw site, so it shows us this calendar. If you have multiple sites and you want to see your calendar for another site, you just select it from the drop down over here. So you can see here on this calendar too, the days that are shaded means we already have appointments on those days. So if it is not shaded, that just means that there are no appointments scheduled for those days at this point. So we'll begin by selecting the difficulty. What we do in our office is we try to have whoever's scheduling the appointments ask a couple of questions to try to determine the difficulty of the return, to see if it's a simple return or a more difficult one, so then we can schedule the appropriate amount of time for that appointment. So for this one, we'll select a 4-star, which would default to 90 minutes for us. We'll select a start time. There's a couple of different ways to see what appointment times are available. You can see here where there's breaks in the calendar. You could put appointments at those times. Or over here, you can click on View Availability. So this is a nice option, especially if somebody is calling and they want to know when a particular person has open appointment. So if somebody called and says, I want to schedule an appointment with Mark, when is he available? You could select Mark's name. You could choose it by the day, the week, or the month. So we'll select the week, and this will tell us that he has time available on Friday from 9 to 12. So this calendar is just for viewing. You can actually schedule the appointment from here, but it does tell you when people are available for appointments. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll select a start time for this appointment. We'll select 1 o'clock. And then you can select your user. So if you select the drop-down for the user, you can see who is actually available to work today, who's scheduled to work. So if you've done a work schedule, you can see that Diana, Mandy, and Mark are on the work schedule, and it tells what time they are scheduled to work for today. The people on here, Rebecca and Rick, that has NA next to their names, means they're not on the work schedule, but we can schedule appointments with them. What we've done is we've selected disregard work schedule for those employees, which means we can schedule appointments for them at any time without having to build a work schedule first. And all of that is controlled on the users page. So we will go ahead and select a user. And the next box is for requested. So if the person who's scheduling the appointment, if the new client wants to see a particular preparer, you can select the requested box. So what that means is they only want to see that particular person when they come in. So you can see by looking at the appointment calendar, the ones with an R next to them, those are requested appointments. The ones that don't have an R next to it, like Haley, she wants to come in at 11:30. She doesn't care who she sees. So whoever's available when Haley walks in the door will see her. But Jason wants to make sure that Andy does his appointment, so Andy will take Jason. So if it's a requested appointment for this user, we just select the requested box. Contact, the client's name comes over from the search page. Referral type, if you're using Edum to track your referrals, then you can ask the client how they heard about you. So we'll select roadside for this one. The next box over here where it says exclude from count. So what the count means, if you go over here to this section, it tells us our total appointments for the day, total appointments that are returning clients, the number that are new clients. Then the self-scheduled section, these are appointments that have been self-scheduled either through the client portal or through the appointment scheduling links if you've put those on your web page. And then this will track the number of returning clients and new clients that have self-scheduled their appointments. And as these clients come in throughout the day, you'll be able to see how many of those clients kept those appointments. So it just kind of gives you an overview of where your appointments are coming from and who's keeping them. But what they exclude from count is if you use your calendar and are blocking off some time. For example, here, Mark has a webinar scheduled. So because that's a webinar, it's not really a client appointment, so we don't want to include that in our count because that's not a true client appointment. So for something like that, we would select exclude from count. So that's what that one's for. Then we have the phone number fields, which are good to capture in case you may need to call the client back to reschedule an appointment. Then allow double booking. So if you already have something on your schedule, or maybe you've blocked yourself off and you need to add something else to your calendar for the same time, you can check this box. So like this is an example right here of where somebody is double booked, where Mark has this webinar, but he also has this client who's going to stop by and just drop something off during that time. And he just wanted to put a note on there so he knew that that client was dropping stuff off. So you can control through the users page who is allowed to do the double booking. So you may not want to give that to all of your employees if you're concerned that you might get overbooked on your calendar, if they're not sure how that actually works. So business type, so if your client is coming in for tax prep or bookkeeping or resolution, whatever business type that client's coming in for. As you can see here, you can also color code your appointments. So for example, this would be a bookkeeping appointment here. So we're selecting this one as tax prep. Then email, if you put an email address in here, it's good if you would like to send out an email confirmation of the appointment once it's been booked. So if we put the email address right here, and then if you select this box down here that says send email, once you save the appointment, the client will get an email confirmation of their appointment. This is really nice for new clients because they won't get that automatic appointment reminder message that's built into Edum, because that's only for current clients. Because this client hasn't actually been set up in Edum yet, they won't get that automatic appointment reminder. So this is a good confirmation of their appointment. The last 4 digits of the Social Security number would go here. And this is important if you are using the self-check-in screen. So when a client comes into the office and checks in, it's going to link their check-in to the appointment calendar, and you'll be able to see which clients are keeping their appointments. Then we have the note section here. So we have the timestamp. You might want to put a note regarding what the appointment is. Maybe this client is coming in to do an amendment. Then when the client checks in, when they actually walk into the door, check into the lobby, any appointment notes that you have will show in the lobby. Then once you've entered all that information, you can go ahead and save the appointment. So now you can see here, we've got Lexi Smith. It's a requested appointment. So this shows how it appears on the calendar. You can also tell by looking at the calendar which appointments are for new clients and which one is for returning clients, because the new clients has the first name first, where a new client has the last name first and it's italicized. So that's a way by glancing at the appointment calendar to be able to tell which appointments are for new clients. You also have the option of transferring your appointments to Google Calendar. After you save the appointment, if you click on the client's name and you select Add to Google Calendar, then you click on that link, then your Google Calendar will open up and you can put that appointment on your calendar. So that is it for scheduling appointments for new clients. Thank you.